So on this lab exercise, adding to a list, we're going to create a list of 3 foods. Right, we're going to ask the user for a new food and add it to the end of our list. Then we're going to ask the user for another new food and insert it at the third element in our list. We're going to print your list to see that if it's correct. Alright, so we want to start by creating a list of 3 foods. Alright, so I'm going to call this list foods. Alright, and I'm going to store 3 foods inside of this list. Let's go with barbecue chicken. We're gonna go with pizza, and we're going to go with noodles. Alright, so I have a list of 3 foods. Next, I want to ask the user for a new food, and then I want to add it to the end of the list. Alright, so we went through this already. We could say, let's call this food underscore input underscore 1 is equal to input. Alright, because we want to ask the user for input. We want to say enter a food. Let's say enter food 1. Enter food 1. Alright, so now we're going to reference our foods list, and we're going to append the food underscore input underscore 1 variable to the end of our list. So whatever the user inputs for line 5, that's what we're going to append to the list. So let's run our program. So it requests that I enter food 1. I'm going to go with shrimp. Oh, I forgot my print statement. So I'm going to print my list. Let's try that again. And see, there we have it. We have shrimp at the end of our list. So next, I'm going to ask the user for another new food and insert it at the third element in our list. Third element. Okay, very important. Not index. Not at the third index, at the third element. Alright, so I'm going to go under my foods pen. I'm going to ask the user for another food. Underscore input underscore 2. We're going to say this is input. We're going to say enter food 2. And this food 2 variable is going to go in the third element in our list. Here's what I mean by element. 1, 2, 3. Notice I start counting at 1. Alright, I started at 1, not 0. When we start counting at 0, we're talking about index. When I say element, I'm just counting regularly. Okay? So I want to insert it at the third element, which means it goes at the second index. So I'm going to reference my foods. I'm going to use the insert method. Remember the insert method, the first argument that it takes in is where you want to insert, or the index that you want to insert this item into your list. So I want to insert it at the second index, and the item that I want to insert, which is going to be food underscore input underscore 2. Now let me reorganize this a bit. There we go. So at the end, I could just print my foods list. So now when I run, it's going to ask me to enter food 1. I'm going to go with shrimp. Food 2, let's go with fettuccine. So now that we see that fettuccine is at the third element in my list. Alright, shrimp is at the end of my list. Alright, so that is lab exercise adding to a list.